Welcome to my component overview and reboxing video for Wayfarers of the South Tigris from Garphill Games. In this video, I will be placing all of the content for this game that's currently available, the base game, the promo cards from the Kickstarter, and the metal coins, and placing them in the base game box to make setup and tear down easy. There are 6 types of cards in this game. These are the 4 types of cards that are going to be available on the top and the bottom of your board. The townsfolk cards, space cards, land cards, and water cards. Along the right-hand side of your board, you will have available inspiration cards. And then the 6th type is the solo cards that are going to give you actions for the AI if you are playing solo. The promo deck that came with the Kickstarter is going to give you 2 additional land, water, inspiration, townsfolk cards, and 1 additional space card. All of these are marked with the little star. Some of the stars are not in the upper right hand corner, and you'll find them somewhere else on the card. The space card one is down here as well. But these can just be put into the appropriate deck and shuffled in for gameplay. Each player color is going to have 5 dice, 15 influence markers, and 1 round player disc. You will have the same set of all of these in each of the other 3 player colors. And then each player is also going to receive a blue and a yellow meeple to start with. Finally, the amount of provisions and silver that each player starts with is going to vary based on turn order, but everyone is going to start with at least 2 provisions and 3 silver. So individual player components can be placed into these 4 wells at the front of the box. Again, I have added the starting resources that everyone gets, and then 2nd, 3rd, 4th player, and then whatever influence gets placed based on turn order is going to have to be added on to these components. On the other side of the box, the provisions and the money goes in here. I have the metal coins, so I've taken the cardboard coins and just put them elsewhere. If you want to keep them with the game, there will be space in the cardware wells, especially if you don't sleeve your cards, but I think even if you do, for a baggie full of the other style of coins. And then your 4 green meeples are going to go into this space here. The remaining components are a number of chits in a variety of colors. You've got your pink, green, blue, black, and yellow upgrade tiles, and then your journal tiles, which are all different. There's 10 of them that go out onto the journal track. So all of these things have spaces, specific spaces for them on the main game board. You're going to have the spaces for the pink tiles. All of them are different. And the journal tiles are going to go into the spaces on the journal track that don't have any other icons in them, so the empty spots. And then you're going to have your green tiles up here, your black tiles, your blue tiles, and your yellow tiles here. And there are going to be a number of these out on the board based on player count. So there's 3 different types of black, and then the number of black ones available will depend on the player count for your game. So all of the chits are going to go into this central area of the game box. And folks have pointed out that there's really more space than is strictly needed, which gives space for expansions. And I'm sure that my advice on how to organize this is going to depend on, it's going to change if more pieces come out. But one thing that I think is really cool with having this much space is like these pink tiles that go out onto the board in a specific order can go into the box in that same order. So these 5 tiles are going to be across the top of the board, and then the 5 tiles I'm putting in now will be on the bottom of the board. And the cool thing about this is not only is it easy to set them up just straight out of the box, it's also easy at the end of the game to just tell your players to place things back onto the board where they go, and then it's easy to just put them in. So the green tiles I'm going to place in the 4 spots up here, and the journal tiles will go in this larger spot here. And then the spaces here, it could either be black, blue, yellow, or black, blue, yellow, however you want. And I'm going to kind of think about it going around in a circle. So I've got my green tiles, and then I'm going to do my black tiles, and then my blue tiles, and then my yellow tiles. So however it makes sense to you to get these things easily out onto the table as you're taking them out of the box will work perfectly. So once all of those are in, you can put in your journal tiles, and note that these are all different and they need to be randomized and put. So again, when you're putting your game away, it would be easy enough to just shuffle these so you know they're randomized, and then you can just draw them out and put them straight onto the board from this spot without having to reshuffle. So the cards are also going out on the board in a specific way, so I'm going to mimic that in the box by putting the townsfolk cards in the upper left, and I've got my solo cards face to face with those just up here. No particular rhyme or reason to that, just what I'm doing. And then my space cards over here in the upper right, and then I've got my inspiration cards, which are also going to go on the upper right of the board, are going to be there. And then my sea cards are going to be over here, and my land cards finally in this spot here. So you can see that there's plenty of space for sleeves or putting a baggie of the other kinds of coins in, or whatever you need extra space for. So on the top of the box, you're going to have the 3 parts of the game board. The large one makes a good lid, and then the other 2. And then you have your 4 player boards, which none of these things fit side by side very well, so it's just all going to have to be a pile of stuff. And then your rule book, and I printed out a couple of player aids that someone on BGG made that just basically has the icon reference and a few in-game scoring reminders and such like. So I printed out a couple of those for my players. And that is all. So happy wayfaring through the South Tigris.